We have a speaker tonight from Pennsylvania. However, I am going to ask Tammy J to come up here and introduce her. Come on, sis. I'm standing right here. Don't leave me.
Yeah, I know. Don't scare me. I'm Tammy. I'm an addict.
Hey, Tammy.
I gotta find Amanda. Where's Amanda? Oh, there you are. You distract me. Oh well, I had the pleasure of finding our speaker's CD on eBay 16 years ago. And I knew I wanted to meet her, and I had the privilege to meet her 15 years ago in April of 2006. Her story is I related on so many levels of her story. I've talked to her, I guess in the last 8 years I've been able to talk to her, and she's just amazing, and I hope that y'all will enjoy her as much as I have. I absolutely love her, and I'm honored that she accepted to come down here. And with that, I'm going to ask my husband to escort her up here for us. And I give you Renee F.
I'm tough.
Okay.
That's what they say.
She is.
Thank you very much.
Put her back up here.
Okay. And thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna be sitting right over there. So if you need me, you let me know.
Okay. Oh, boy. I'm glad to see a couple empty seats. My name's Renee, and I'm an addict. My clean date's October 3rd of 1978. Oh. I was 26 when I came into the fellowship, and boy, did I get old. You know, I know in our 30s and 20s, we have this impending doom that we're going to die by a certain age. And I know that goes through every one of our heads because, oh, I'll never see 30. I sure as hell won't see 40. Oh, crap, I'm 50. And I'm pretty near 70. And you know, I feel like I'm amongst many peers here. I'm so glad this isn't a super young group. I just got a whole bunch of teammates out here. Number one, you were hippies. Never guessed I was. You probably had a very similar background as I had. Those young years really sucked. And, my mother was an alcoholic. Dad was a sporadic drunk. I don't know what the hell he was. But one thing I know is that was never close to him. He never knew how to be a father, and I sure as hell didn't know how to be a daughter. I was very rebellious, and all I knew how to do was make bad choices. And I made bad choices for many, many years. I'll probably tell you about a couple of them, but not all of them. And I don't want the Nazis to get me tonight, okay? Please spare me that. Okay, I was forced by my girlfriend who was keeping my child for me, my daughter. First marriage. Let me tell you about that one. That was a good one. He was a great guy. And I had given up drugs pretty much. And my husband, no, my girlfriend came back into my life, my hippie girlfriend, and she brought some pot. So I became a laundry room pot smoker. Then I tried to get my husband to smoke pot. Oh, he was awful at it. He giggled. I mean, I was way past that stuff. You know, I didn't even have to get the munchies, and oh my gosh, he got munchies and everything else. But that man was way too good for me. And there was no way that I would have ever been able to stay married to him simply because of that. That's exactly how I felt. And that's a sad thing. But I went to 10 different schools. I dropped out right before graduation, of course. We had race riots where I lived in '69, those years, and all I was a hippie. And God, all I did was like walk through the alleys, like I don't want to get hit over the head with a billy club, you know, so I had to prove it. So, and all I'd do is go home. Well, finally I just said, why am I even going? And all the friends that I made in all of the areas and schools that I went to were all, everyone like you. And if you hear me beeping, I'm sorry, it's my insulin pump. Okay, so I don't beep automatically. But, you know, I always hung out with older people, of course, and they were all doing the Thunderbird, the Tiger Rose, and oh my God, how did our bellies survive that stuff? I remember drinking it like this. You know, you just couldn't, ooh, good. Now it's just, I don't think I could even smell it. But everybody I hung out with, water seeks its own level. So does sewage. And that was the easiest crowd for me to fit in with. I didn't have to do anything to belong. I thought I was a tough little cookie, and I probably really faked it well, but I don't know when the true me came out after I got clean. Okay. My first meeting was an AA meeting at the Western Penitentiary. I was invited on a blind date with an inmate who had stabbed a car salesman 51 times and he had life. Now, never met the dude, never met him, but I heard he was like a little guy and he was very nice. Okay, so my curiosity will kill me. And so I went on this blind date, and there were murderers there with their families, whomever was daring to come there. And of course I was there. And I thought, well, okay, I'll go. Why, I don't know, but only because I've never been inside the Western Penitentiary. We swim in front of it, but, I was never in it. Well, I really felt sorry for this man, and oh my God, he's got life to do. Didn't matter about the life he took. I just looked at this poor guy. I never saw the whole picture. So he had asked me if I would bring a couple of things down to him. So I learned how to use balloons and Vaseline. And I'm so glad I never got busted. Boy, is that ever a blessing. Now, if I did it once, I don't know. If I did it, I'm not going to say 20 times, but I'd say probably between 7 and 14 times, which was enough. Because I started to find out things like, if you get busted doing that, you're going to go up to Muncie and pay time there. Okay, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to prison. I just feel bad for this guy. Why not? So anyways, that was my first meeting. And the guy that was there, that was chairing it, had brought us H&I meeting, and he was very active. He was very active with H&I, and everybody knew him in Pittsburgh. He was just a great dude, But I didn't get to really re-meet him until after I came into the fellowship, and I went, "Oh my God, you're the guy from the Western Penitentiary." He goes, "Yep." And it was kind of like I ran into a star. Okay, then. All righty. Well, I did get a divorce from the first husband, and I told you the reasons why. But out of that marriage, I have a magnificent daughter. We don't always raise addicts. Here I'm beeping. We don't always raise addicts. My daughter, I believe they switched babies on me in the hospital. I can remember my mother being incredibly sick, and well, as a matter of fact, it was the day she died. She had an esophageal hemorrhage, and if you ever saw something like that, what she did was she threw up in a great big bucket, and it was half filled with her blood. And the paramedics came, and there was no blood pressure there, and she says, "Am I dead?" So I know you can live with no blood pressure. The paramedic says, "No, Joy, you're okay," because her name was Joy. "You're okay." And I'm so glad they did that. Got her to the hospital, and she did pass a few hours later, but, I'm telling her, "Mom, it's okay. It's okay. You can let go." 51 years old. "It's okay, Mom." And I gotta tell you, this is one reason why I'm still alive, was because I was coming to this convention. I had an obligation. I had a commitment. And I wanted to go have fun in Tennessee. I was in the hospital the majority of October, and I pretty near died twice, okay? And my daughter came to the hospital, and she says, "Mom, don't die, I need you." And here I was telling my mother, "It's okay, Mom, you can die." Who the hell did I think I was, God? And then I see this lovely young woman here, which, oh God, she's so beautiful. She just got a daggone promotion. Oh my God. I'm so glad she's got balls to ask for it. She deserves it. And anyways, I just know, I remember her saying that to me, that, "Mom, please don't go anywhere. I really need you." And I'm thinking, really, truthfully, bottom line, she doesn't really need me, but she just sort of wants me to hang around. But she loves me. And then there's back to living. Okay, so divorced from Jimmy, and my mother died like right after I got clean. Well, I had hooked up with an old boyfriend who was, I met him, he was a really cool hippie, like the LSD kind of hippie. And whenever I was 16, and all of a sudden we're back together. I'm 19 now. Oh my God, I thought I died and went to heaven. He's back. This was so intentional. God wanted me and him together. Well, he's now a used car salesman selling drugs, or a drug salesman with the cars. I wasn't ever quite sure. I just knew that, oh, I loved him so. I loved his drugs. And what I did for those drugs, I created fights because I knew I would get a reward. I knew if I created chaos, I would get the reward. And my reward was always, oh God, you old guys are going to know this, Quaaludes. Okay. I know, isn't that great? I love those suckers. Okay. How in the world could they stop making 714s? I have no idea. Oh, God. But anyways, he wrecked a car, and he says, well, you take your blame for it. And, I was really willing to do that. The state cop says, you weren't driving that car. He had blonde hair, I had black hair. So he knew. Okay, so anyways, I gave it a shot. Didn't work. Well, this hippie who was I was so happy to be back with, became entirely so vicious. Even though I was creating chaos, he was now not necessarily rewarding me with what I liked. He was a very abusive man. And, he did little things like drag me by my foot down the steps and out the front door without clothes on. And he kicked me while I was on the steps, so he sort of broke several of these ribs. And boy, did that hurt. So then I said, well, you know what, you cannot leave me in this kind of pain. So then I got the drugs again. So it was kind of worth it. But anyways, I got to get out of him. He was a very, very toxic relationship. The one thing I know we don't know how to do is love. We don't know how to date. We don't know how to converse, express our feelings to whomever we're with. Well, I learned to share my feelings with this asshole, and I really didn't care what he thought or how anything happened. But anyways, I got away from him because you don't even need to know that one. But anyways, whenever I got back to the United States, I had gone out of the country with my oldest brother. And whenever we got back into the United States, I'm now a completely free bird. I should have had a chain ball on my foot. I don't know who had held it. All my friends were doing the same thing that I was doing. Well, I was living with my girlfriend, who is still my friend today. And my daughter we were living with her. Well, she really had a hard time with my behavior because we had this little tiny powder room on the first floor. And I would spend hours in there just searching and searching and searching for a vein. And, she'd knock on the door, "Are you okay?" "Well, yeah, as soon as I'll be out in I gotta find something." And that's what I was searching for. The time I wasted, and she knew what I was doing. Her and her sister, we sort of all had this little tiny commune, which is really not. But they said to me, "If you don't get help today, you have to move." That scared me badly. So I went to a detox that is, I don't think St. John's is still going, but it was a really crummy old hospital, and you detoxed. And they didn't they didn't really know how to detox people off of Dilaudid, and that had become my drug of choice all day long, all night long, continuously, because of the drug dealer that I was with. He had the pharmacies all set up, the doctor and the prescriptions and where I'm going here and where I'm going there. So I knew everything that he was going to have, and I learned how to puke immediately. There's no stopping it. And I learned to live with that. My girlfriend did say that to me, and I did take heed to that, so I went to detox. Truthfully, that was the start of my recovery, because you have no idea what's ahead of that. None. Thank God. Oh, if I would have known what I had to go through to get here, holy shit. But, okay, so because of that issue, I was in detox for 9 days. Now you're lucky if you get 3. Okay, so, but there was no doubt that I needed that, but I got it. And of course, I fell in love in detox. What else would you think? Then I had a therapist that he says, "Don't you think you should go to rehab?" "Oh no, I'm a cocktail waitress and they need me." So you see, I really held high positions. And I had been a waitress, oh gosh, on and off my whole adult life. The thing that changed was the restaurants. Some of them got better, and then I went back and better, back. But okay, I lost the train of thought. Rehab. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So they're going to send me away to a rehab where they're going to make sure that I'm detoxed. They're going to show me how to live clean and sober. Okay, Nazis down. And so I went scared to death. We have no idea what's ahead of us. Again, they had butterscotch pudding and I was happy. It was the simple things that sort of went, this is not bad. Okay, I get out of rehab. NA started while I was in rehab in Pittsburgh at this rehab. And it was held every Wednesday night. And of course, I had to go there. So I did join that group. But the problem was that was the only meeting. And when they say 90 meetings in 90 days, you can't keep going back every Wednesday, and try to add that up to 90 days. So I did go to the other fellowship. I will never, ever put that fellowship down. They were our founders too. That fellowship, although they were groups of people just like us, they were old. Oh crap. And I'd just walk into those meetings and go, oh my God. oh my God, I'm a baby in here. I was 26, and oh my God. But you know what they did? They put their loving arms around me, and they loved me. Really, not until I could love myself, but they loved me enough until I felt that I was worth something. My therapist told me, everybody's got to be somewhere. Go to school. High school dropout, all that crap. Well, I started a university in Pittsburgh, and I actually graduated. I think it took me an extra year because I hated algebra, and I don't know a damn thing about A, B, C, D. I don't care what they do. I will never care, and I don't know why I had to continue to take that class 3 times. They let me out with a D, which I think they just let me out. Because that guy was really getting pissed at me because I just wouldn't get it. But anyways, now I'm going to some meetings on my own, and you know, I got my little car there, and I'm all set up, and I'm going to college too. And I really never learned how to read in school. And I'm a one-word reader. I will read the period because I'm so slow. And I like to read, but I can't find anything like smutty enough and not filthy enough to read, you know? I mean, I don't want a porno book. I just want something that's going to be juicy, you know? So John Grisham had a book out then, and I just went, oh, I can read this. And when I got to the end of it, I went, oh, God, I finished my first book. Yeah, I was about 27 then. Well, now I'm going to meetings, and boy, you know how good-looking the guys are in NA, AA? You know, you sort of sit in a meeting and you kind of see who you might go home with, or, you know, you might take home. And needless to say, I don't do that anymore. Because I started to feel like, you know what I'm doing? I'm really shaming myself. Not that I was selling myself short, but I was shaming myself. Oh, well, then I was at our recovery club, and if you have a recovery club, we're so fortunate that we have these things. And I'm there, and I'm looking at this one dude. Oh boy, I'm chomping at the bit for him. Okay. And I was with a girlfriend. Well, he thought my girlfriend was flirting with him, not me. And whenever he found out it was me, he sort of accepted it. And then we started to date, and oh my gosh, I fell in love. So I thought, again, with another addict. Now, if you ever fell in love with an addict, I want to say run. But, you know, I remember I had 26 years clean, and he had maybe 3. No, that's clean. Not enough, but it's clean. And I knew what he wanted to do. He sort of wanted to stay clean on my coattail. And that's what ended up happening. But then again, we were so in love. And we got married. Oh, God. And there were 26 years between my marriages, so it wasn't something that I sort of hopped into. I just hopped into bed with men, not marriages. So, anyways, he and I got married, and big guy. And he would have been incredibly successful had he not picked up. So 99 days after we were married, he started using heroin. And guess what? I did everything. I'm going to shorten that part. I did everything in the world. Quads, a Cadillac, jet skis, trip to Hawaii to the Super Bowl. Not the Super Bowl, that Pro Bowl. Like I'm paying attention now to the Pro Bowl. No, I'm watching him. That's all I did was watch him. And I'm thinking, well, something here's got to make you happy and not want to keep using. You know, if I could do it, why can't you? Well, it didn't stop. And we got back from Hawaii, and the first thing he did, I went to bed. First thing he did was take off. And guess what he did, you know? Came back, and then his eyes were drooping because he was tired. You know, yeah, because I remember we were driving down a boulevard in downtown Pittsburgh, and, you know, I had a little Volkswagen convertible, and he's nodding off. And I said, oh, honey, and I started getting sarcastic, just so you know this. Oh, honey, are you tired? He says, no, I have a cold behind my eyes. I mean, the stupid things we say to try to excuse our behavior is unbelievable. So I love the cold behind the eye thing. And we were going to a hockey game that night after we ate dinner. So we got to the restaurant, we're eating dinner, and I'm watching him because he's taking like long blinks in between bites of spaghetti. And so we started to go outside, and I said, just, you know what, do me a favor, give me my keys. It's my car, just give me my keys. I don't want you driving my car. So we got in the car, and I started to drive to a meeting. He thought we were going to go to a hockey game. I said, well, I don't know about you, but I need a meeting pretty daggone bad because I'm not having fun. I'm not. And so he says, that's all right. I'll take a bus home. So whatever you think, you go right ahead. And I went to that meeting, and I was very upset, very sad he wasn't with me. I didn't go to the hockey game, but I did see him at home. And he walked in his happy, and I walked in my happy. And you know, we start out using just pretty good, you know, pretty good. We're all right there. But you know, he was such an addict, and he couldn't live without the drug. Now you know how they say that we have to seek outside help. So I did end up with a psychiatrist because I was very suicidal. I still have the same therapist, although I'm not discussing him. And I also got introduced to the Nar-Anon meeting. No Nazis, because we do not go in Nar-Anon meetings and talk about the addicts. We talk about us. And us was going through hell. You know, the very first Nar-Anon meeting I went to, I said, you know, just teach me how not to shoot the motherfucker in the head. And I really kind of swore I wasn't going to swear. Okay, but then again, that's what came out. And so they listened to me whine for several months. I got a sponsor, and she probably had the most powerful words in the world that I could have ever listened to. And she said, what are you going to do? Let it go. You're never going to change an addict. Never. No matter what you think. Because I thought I was pretty powerful, because look at all the years I have. Well, those years didn't mean jack shit. But what the years did was it gave me something to fall back on. what Nar-Anon did for me. And I still attend one Nar-Anon meeting a week because my husband and I started one on Friday mornings. Nar-Anon has got me, and I'm not going to do a Nar-Anon lead, don't worry. It taught me how to let you live your life. This is your journey, not mine. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't get you here. I'm not going to keep you here. And if you want to leave, go ahead. I'm here to help the addict that wants help. I'm here to help the wife, the children, whomever is related to that addict. Because you know what? We kill people. We actually kill our families. We tear apart so many families. You know, my family's so tore apart right now because of my husband's stinking daughter. And I'm calling her that because I'd call her something worse. I used to be her sponsor. I was in this chick's wedding. And I married her father. So I still hear crap about her, but whatever she's doing, and I don't want to know nothing. You know, my husband's getting to where he don't want to hear nothing either. You know, enough is enough. You've gone through enough of his money. I will not give an addict a nickel. Well, right after we got married, me and Blake, and he was clean about 6 months. I don't know why I thought he was going to be wonderful. But he bought property we bought property in another town. And I'm looking at this building going, oh my God, what could be possibly put in here? And it was really laid out weird. And there was like a kitchen on the second floor, and then a lot of big rooms, and the top was an attic. I said, well, you know what, honey, you've been in so many halfway and three-quarter houses. Why don't we turn this into a halfway house or a three-quarter house? So we did. And it was a men's house because I don't know why I thought men. Believe me. They were not attractive in there. Thank God. But that would have been super tacky. Okay. But anyways, 18 years I kept the house going. Well, my husband, my present husband, who was a saint, helped me. He also helped me stay sane. He let me go through whatever I had to go through. He wished I didn't have to go through that, but I keep seeing this idiot everywhere I go. I finally got a PFA against him so he wouldn't show up at the same meetings I'm at. You know, and did he ever physically really hurt me? No, but the judge didn't know that. You know, so if you need one, go get one. You know, just have a friend there and say, oh my God, he pushed her so hard. I've lied about a lot. Why wouldn't I lie about that? So I was, Joe is my new husband's name. He's not even new anymore. Last month, we celebrated 10 years of marriage. Thank you. That deserves an applaud for his sake. He's a saint. Sometimes he's a jag-off, but he's really on the big part, he's really a saint. I've had some physical things because like my left side of my body likes to break. Like, you know, we got an ankle, we have a sacrum, a femur, shoulder, all left. Everything's left. And you know, this man catered to me like you would not believe. He would make sure I was taking my medications right. I didn't want to, all those breaks, whatever they were, things that hurt really bad. He had control over everything. And whenever I would say, "Joe, I think," and he says, "Are you sure?" I said, "Well, then give me some Advil. I'll do that." And he says, "No, that'll thin your blood too much." "Okay, give me the other." I didn't care. I needed to feel better. That's all I knew. And they weren't prescribing anything incredibly strong or anything, thank God, because I told them. I told the doctors, please, I want to recover, but I don't want to suffer while I'm recovering. And so that's God. In my room, I have a walker, I had a wheelchair, and I had my cane, all in my room last night. Gee willikers, that's why I'm trying real hard to walk today, but anyways. And last month, as I was telling you, I got so sick, so sick. And I'd say to my daughter, "How's my hair? How's my whatever?" I was so concerned about other things that I'm glad, though, because it took my mind off of the pain. And I like to have a good spirit. I like to have humor in my life. I had all the nurses, they were funny. They loved me everywhere I went because I was in ICU. I was over here, I was over there. But they all came into my room because they hated the MFing patient they had to go take care of after me. So they could come into my room and say that. "I don't want to go next door. I can't stand them." She's a bitch. And I had purple hair then. Last month. Okay. I've done, I don't like to be just plain. I've got tattoos. I've got, everything I could possibly have, I think. The one that I'm most proud of, though, is my hope. I got that. I know, huh? Those little dumplings fell. And there ain't no pulling them back up. But it says hope. Help other people every day, and you won't use. Happy, our program exists. Gratitude. There's so many ways we can look at so many things that we have and not take it for granted. I always wanted to be was a nice person. And the majority of the time I am, unless I'm going to have an argument with my jag-off husband sometimes. But that's it, They since I've been here, and my husband called Tammy and said, "My wife was in the hospital most of October. Somebody has to take care of her down there." Because the one thing I never forgot while I was in the hospital was I was going to Memphis. I don't know how I was going to walk down here. I didn't know how I was going to do anything down here. I really didn't even know how I was going to speak down here. But you know what? Somebody asked me to do something, and I very, very rarely say no. Only if I really can't. Now, if this would have been in the middle of October, my husband would have told you she ain't coming. But I'm packing up and getting ready, and I must have put, oh my goodness. And of course I didn't bring the right clothes, the right hair stuff, the right everything, but you know what? I made it. I survived it. I was able to bring clothes that look cute. Being a 69-year-old is not, I never thought I'd see 69. Ever, ever, ever. And I love hearing people say, yeah, I'm 70 now. Yeah, I'm 68. Oh, thank God. I'm not alone. I'm still not alone. Pittsburgh, we do not have people with time. My home group has myself and another girl that I sponsor. She's got 33 and me with 43, and then everybody else with 4 years and less. And there's only like 7, 8 people that come now because of that stinking COVID. And it was such a popular meeting. But you got to sacrifice something, so if our group happens to fold, which, if I get back there, because I honestly have not been there for 5 weeks because of illness, but when I get back there, man, we're going back. We're going to kick ass. We're going to get this meeting. We're going to have an anniversary. The group will be 33 years old. Yeah, thank you. I had 10 years whenever I decided I had the balls to open up a meeting. Because it takes some courage. And the town that I lived in it's a very exclusive town, okay? I lived in a bungalow in there, but, the town itself, Sewickley, if you ever look it up, it's a beautiful little town. Well, there are no drug addicts in Sewickley. So, once again, I was being a jagoff. And I went to the church and said, I would really like to start an NA meeting here. Well, what do? The same thing the other fellowship does. We want to be here to help the suffering addicts who come through our door. Nothing's different. And Laura from the church, fine. She, and every now and again she'll put some rules out, well, especially like the COVID and stuff like that, and that was fine. She had to do that. She had to. And did I care? No. We're going to abide by her rules. That's the church's rules. And she was very kind, and now we're there 33 years, and is it 33? Yeah. Because I had 10 years whenever we started it. I had gone to an NA convention in New York in the Catskills, something like that. One of them. Where? Yeah. I'll tell you what, it was wherever it was. It doesn't matter. But anyways, they had a, and the person and I was with were camping. That's not a thing I really love to do, but we were doing that. And the Saturday night, everybody had a candle, and it was an oval room. Okay, and the chairperson had a candle, and it was lit. Pass that light on, pass that light on, pass that light on. And the song in the background was Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. That sold me. I'm in NA. I don't have to go anywhere else. So today I might not be a purebred of everything, but guess what? I don't drink. That alcohol crap, oh God. I don't hear a lot of controversy about it because it's stupid as shit. Why would you drink? I abused that right to use and to get high. I used my share. Do I really have to? Do I have to use anymore? Oh my God. I was never a mother to my daughter, never. And the reason why I did stop smoking pot was because she walked into the living room and I was sitting there with a bong. And she just gave me one of those looks. She was 6 years old and gave me one of those looks and turned right around and walked away. So it doesn't have to be something that's said. It's something that somebody does. I've learned to make better choices. I think before I do anything else, and I like the choices I make. And the best choice I could have made this week was coming to Memphis. And I really, you guys are so polite. I mean, if I have my cane, do you need any help? If I've got the wheelchair, can I push you? Here's me. Okay. The help because you want to help, not because you have to. You guys are a blessing. I'm a blessing to have been here to speak. And I really, to the committee, I really hope I was worth the money. You really had to spend a hell of a lot to get me here, just on the airfare. Thank you very much. I love you, and I hope we pass in somewhere down the line. See you.
H&I, PR, any of that. Keep standing. Keep standing. Now I want you to stand if you open those meetings, if you do any meeting service. Do you open those doors for those addicts? Do you make that coffee? Do you put those chairs out? Do you pick those chairs up? And I want you to stand if you ever put your name on a meeting list. Have you ever listened to a newcomer? Have you been there when someone had to have that phone call? Service keeps me clean. I want everyone to turn to the person next to them and tell them, thank you for your service.